Hello and welcome back to the Red Barons Gaming YT. I'm very sorry about the lack of content for like the last week and a half. I've just been doing other things on GTA 5 recently. You can always put a comment down below if you'd like to see GTA 5 videos on my channel, but I don't know, it just doesn't. It's just a very repetitive game, if you get what I mean. Like, you just do heists or things like that, stuff like that, and do it over and over, you get money, yada yada yada, etc. I mean, I could do like an aircraft review or, weapons reviews or just do some, like live like gameplay, like stuff with some friends if they want to be in a video, like just fucking around, stuff like that. But that out of the way, that was the excuse of why I haven't been making videos recently. This is the um tank version of the airplane, how to and like basic setup and stuff like that I had like a while ago, like a week and a half ago. There were a lot of comments on there that said like make another one of these, etc. Like useful shit. So that's what I'm doing, making useful shit when I get to it. So remember the last one how we did the parts and I broke it up? Oh, this one I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep it flowing, just to keep things moving. So to start off, I don't think I explained what this is up here. You guys can use this. Air Arcade is obviously Air Arcade. Air RB, Tank Arcade's basically the same as Air RB, except if you notice, if I go to this preset, this is what I've been using recently. If I go, notice how everything for RB is like lit up. You can use every single one of those tanks should you have spawn points, and also the aircraft should you have spawn points, by capping zones, getting assists, killing people, taking hits, etc. Stuff like that. Okay. Tank Arcade though will allow you to take all the tanks, but you can only use 3 of them, and you don't get to use your aircraft. They will give you like pop-up aircraft, like on your number pad it'll be like, your shells, and then it'll have like 3 different airplanes, a fighter, an attacker, and a bomber. And then you get to choose, like, depending on what you do, like how you do this. But another thing is you can die while you are like AFT, or I don't know, away from tank. I don't know. It's like AFK, but AFT, away from tank, flying around, and you only get like a minute or 30 seconds or something like that to actually fly. So, plus it also gives you an aiming sight that I don't like to use because it teaches people the wrong way. So yes, and then you have Naval Arcade and Ship Battles, which are for those of us who have stuff like this. But ships are for another day, and we can always do ships another day, so whatever. Whoops. So back to Tank RB. Okay. So yes, in this video I will be teaching the basic mechanics again, like of like controls and stuff that you can set up to make things easier compared to just pushing the W key, charging straight in, and getting sniped right away, okay? So, yeah, whatever. So let's start with that, I guess. Got your gear up here again. Go to controls, and then of course this time it'll be selected on tank instead of aircraft, but I mean you can still, select it however you want. Automatic transmission, I would just leave that on yes. Tank throttle, leave this alone. That's probably how it is for you. If it's not, if it's your arrow keys, whatever, I'd be playing left-handed mouse, whatever, I wouldn't do that. Tank left brake and right brake, you don't really need that. Tank transmission gear, E. There is cruise control. And I will show you how to use that in a second. Fire, LMB, fire from secondary guns, LMB, fire from machine guns, space, that's all default. Fire from special guns, R, MB5, I don't really use that. Reset weapon selection now. Set that as U, or some key that is easy to know, but doesn't take anything else, doesn't have anything else with it. Select primary weapon. I'm actually going to switch this to Alt 1 and Alt 2, because Shift pulls up your aiming sight, and that gets very annoying when that just all of a sudden pops up and you're trying to get on a different gun. So select machine gun. I have it set as I, which for aircraft, I is the engine shut off. Smoke grenades, G. Smoke screening, H. Don't need to do any of this. Switch radar on and off. I don't have any radar equipped tanks, and I'm assuming people who are watching this don't either. Camera control. Suspension control. I can show you why I have this. Most tanks in the game don't have this, but some Japanese tanks that I do have it, like the Type 74, Type 90, MBT, stuff like that, have suspension control, and I can show you just what that looks like. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Air Battles Aircraft 1, Air Battle Aircraft 2, Air Battle Aircraft 3. That is all for arcade. This is basically arcade. Rangefinder. Yes, you need this. MB4, okay? If you have MB4 or any button like that, or R if you really want it to be. Wait, that wouldn't work. I mean, I guess you could, but MB4 crosshair lighting, you will need that for tank at night battles. So I just have it set as L because nothing's on L and it's near my hand, so whatever. Sight distance control. Oh, here. Mouse wheel. Take it off none or zoom access ground or whatever. Do sight distance, okay? And I will show you why. So that is about it for controls. Again, a lot of it's just doing the weapon selection stuff in here and a few things down here, okay? So much easier than the aircraft one, and I can go show you what that looks like, I guess. And another thing that I will talk about at the end of the video, the types of tanks. So let's just get into a test drive here quickly. Oh, and always use the test drive. Like, you don't have to actually have researched the vehicle to test drive it. You just have to have it like lit up, light up. So this is what you look like in game so far. W S A D W and A together, W and D together. It works better if you turn at high speed like that instead of just trying to, although neutral does help, but if you're trying to like move forward and turn, it doesn't really work the best. So push shift, you're up in gun sight mode. Okay, so another thing. Do you see this MBT way out here? I mean, this one here, I could probably get away with, boom, point at it, click it, it blows up, or should blow up. Okay? Now let's point at this one. Well, why did my crosshairs being right on the tank not kill the tank? Well, because there's a thing called elevation. Like, it's a gun, it's a heavy shell, it's a 120mm shell, or 37 or 47 or 50mm or 57mm, 88mm, 90 millimeter, 105 millimeter, 155 millimeter, 175 millimeter, up and up and up, okay? So if you have it, which all tanks do have it, you hit your rangefinder. It won't be that fast, but mine's that fast because of the fact that I have a laser rangefinder, and that's 1250, okay? About like that. That was a perfect hit right to the front. And he will... Perfect hit. Right down the cannon barrel. But notice that if I go out and come back in, it's still set at that distance. So if I try to aim at this tank... Well, I had that low enough. Whatever. But if I aim at this tank like this one, that shell goes soaring over. So you just mouse wheel it back up and you're good to go. And moving and shooting. Stabilized guns, like what are found in the British tanks after 6.7 or 6.7 onward, and all MBTs once you get them, can go over any terrain. I can sight that boy up. He's at about 620, so I'm gonna just boom. And you can turn, keep your gun facing a specific way. Quickly laser sight that guy. 500, and boom, right through the lower plate. This is the stuff you get to play with at high tier though. Smoke grenades, of course. Artillery, obviously it's 5, so you can drop artillery. That's what artillery does. It's very good for spotting people, so you'll learn to use it eventually. But let's return to the hangar now and show you what a low tier vehicle looks like. I'm going to take the Mini 34, I guess. You've seen this tank before on my channel. Let's go test drive. You can switch out different ones, different shells, etc. Oh. So, notice how it's measuring so slowly. That's night vision, by the way. Can't really tell now, though, but, I mean, I can probably just... That's, how you do it. And trying to hit an anti-aircraft vehicle, or actually it's a Panzer IV, whilst moving, or trying to get a range on it whilst moving, is damn near impossible. I mean, I managed to hit him because I stopped, but yeah, that's called an unstabilized gun. Back to the hangar. So this time I'm going to disclose some of this stuff to help you. So if you're in a T50 like this, you know, you've got 63 millimeters or 40 millimeters on the front, but it's 60 sloped. Okay, look at this. So this is a 2.7 vehicle. Okay, this is the armor tab. Go down to armor protection analysis. Go to just go to Germany, I guess. And go to something around 2 point around your battle range. Let's do a Panzer III. Excuse me. Just use the Panzer Granat 39 stock shell. 500 meters. That's a ricochet. I'm trying to explain angle armoring now, okay? Penetration not possible. Look at this. You are impenetrable at this simple, like, what would that be? Probably a 45-degree angle? Or, yeah. You're 62 degrees to the target, okay? Or to the incoming shell. Now, if you look at this, that'll basically one shot from the side. You don't ever want to be caught like this. Or this, that's a fun one. Right through the back of the thing. But if you manage to angle your armor, you are very, very good to go, okay? That is something everyone needs to learn, and you only learn it by fucking up. By learning where you've over-angled or under-angled and all of a sudden get wiped out. So next thing is the X-ray tab. It shows you all of your ammunition layout, like so. A very good example of this are MBTs. Most of them have a thing called a blowout panel. It's got these little squares on top that explode off should the thing go boom. Yeah. I don't use these. If something penetrates through here, this goes boom and the fighting compartment is compromised. This goes boom, you can generally get away. So, your blowout panel, etc. Gas turbine engine. So, I always take 23 rounds because there's 11 on top, 11 on the bottom. That's 22. Don't want to use up one of those, so I put one in the chamber, 23. Good to go. Now you don't have to worry about getting ammo racked, at least from this little thing. This also has armor inside. That's because if you look at the armor on the outside, it's actually not that thick. But then you go to X-ray, and you have a whopping grand total of damn near 580 millimeters, like everywhere. And in between the spaced armor, there's explosive reactive armor to prevent heat shells from juicing up the main shells. Optics. Another thing you guys can do is go into here. This is customization. Hit the customization tab. You can have different camouflages, I guess. See? And then if you can have skulls, a skull up there, make yourself look cool. I don't have any road signs, roundels, weapons. You know, just use the French rifle, World War II tank. You know, good old F8 or some French FAMAS. Helmets. Could always put a French helmet next to your little skull there. Other want some bushes, kind of hide yourself a little better. Got the trick for you. There you go. You can put stuff on your tank to make yourself harder to see, such as like on this one. Or, where's another good one? Oh, yes, I've got a good one. Here. This is how you hide a tank. I'm going to do some like goofing around videos where I take this thing up into 9.0 and just play hide and go seek with everyone. Because that's always fun, but yeah, that is a well-concealed tank right there. So, back to France. So, that is tanks, okay? And another thing, I'm gonna go into test drive. So this is what a RB battle will look like. None of these tanks will have this thing above them telling you what they are. It'll be nothing. So, you see, you can't really see this guy over here off the end of my gun at all. Okay, but if you go into binoculars, push B, you can now see things much clearer, you know, from binoculars. Whoops, a little high. Perfect. Tank killed. So, that is basically what it will look like. You'll have to use your eyes and your stuff to see what I mean? It's a little more difficult than having that reticle or that like targeting thing there. That's like, oh, look, there's a T-55. You know, you'll be have to look, and people may look like this or like this or like this, and you'll be sitting there wondering, where the fuck did that shell come from? So what do? You dump smoke and get the hell out of there until you can ask someone else to go up there and look for them. Or if you get one-shotted, like what happens at most battle ratings, well, you won't get that chance, I guess. So, yeah. Another thing, close air support. I'm going to use my Germany stuff, and I'm going to take us into a quick custom battle. Okay. Let's just use this one. Okay, so you can also do custom battles to kind of see things around your BR. So this is an actual map, so I will kind of show you slightly how this is done. Okay, so see I got that 1,000-pound bomb. Well, let's use the 250 and let's work our way up. Always set this to about a second, okay? And here we go. It's kind of a desert camouflage, but whatever. So you'll have your tanks on the ground that will light up like this. This one I have markers on just so you can see what's happening. Usually you'd have to look for just a little black blob on the ground. Like if you look over where those light tanks are, you see those black blobs like right down there, those moving things. Your team will be illuminated like this, so you don't have to worry about accidentally doing a whoopsie and dropping a, should you have a 1,000-kilogram bomb, whoops, right on 8 of your, tanks. The enemy, on the other hand, is, if I know them right, they're either going to go into these warehouses right below me. Oh, there's one. So I'm going to do a bombing run on some of these tanks like I would in RB. So see that whole line of them right down here? So that's about what it's going to look like, okay? Bomb's gone. See? That's about how you do it. The award may be given to the nearest opponent. Ta-da! Yeah, they've switched that. Just a little blog thing here. They kind of, what? 1 second. So that's about what it will look like, okay? That's how you do ground attack. You don't kamikaze or anything like that, so whatever. Okay, so yeah, that concludes, I guess, the tank tutorial. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below if you want to see the ship version of this. Want me to do ship gameplay, tank gameplay, air gameplay, or mixed. Or if you want to do GTA or something like that. And if any of you guys out there watching want to play with me, get my Discord down below, send me a message, and I will be very happy to play with you and feature you either in a live stream, a live comms video, any of that. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like. As always, subscribe, and I'm the Red Baron. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video, whatever that may be. So have a lovely day, and I'm out.